Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And Anthony Joshua is trying to find a way to win by soliciting the help of Robert Garcia. I think he's a 14-time, he's trained 14 world champions or something like that. But anyway, when it comes to Anthony Joshua and Usyk, in the first fight, Anthony Joshua just got his butt beat. I rewatched the fight, and I agree with what a lot of these boxing experts, including Mike Tyson, is saying, is Anthony Joshua has to change his strategy. And I honestly feel by bringing Robert Garcia in, that's the right fit. I feel that way. Because Robert Garcia is extremely intelligent. He's always looking at planning factors. And he's always working on a strategy curtailed to the opponent. And I honestly feel that what Joshua needs to win this fight, or the rematch, something very simple. And it's the same thing that has been pinpointed by Mike Tyson and other boxing experts. It's for AJ to use his jab and to throw hooks. Now, one thing we know is AJ has a very, very solid jab. And we know he's probably one of the best hookers in boxing. And he hooks, man, he'll get you out of the hook, and his uppercuts are deadly. He has sound fundamentals, and he's highly skilled, right? No one can argue that. But the thing is, right, how does he do that against Usyk when he's psychologically just damaged? And the psychological damage came from the hands of Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua is going through what Broner went through with McDonough. Doesn't want to get hit anymore. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to get knocked out. He doesn't want to get embarrassed. This is what we're seeing. Now, the thing is, when you watch AJ, right? I'm going to do a video on this. You guys know who the hell Bob Sapp is? The damn guy who was a football player and fighting out there in Japan and all them crazy circuits. I don't know how big he is. He must be like 6'10" or something. 500 pounds. Like, big old Bob Sapp. That's what AJ looked like in the ring now. Scared to get hit, But the thing with AJ, like Bob Sapp, is when Bob Sapp stops being afraid to let his hands go and he lets his hands go, he does damage. And that's the same thing. So I know some of you probably laughing, but it's the same damn thing. Two big men afraid to get hit. But once they do let their hands go, the momentum of the fight changes and to their favor. And for AJ, he has to let his hands go. And I think with his jab, he can easily, because see, this is with Usyk. Usyk he keeps that left hand right here on his face. Like, you know how hard that is to go a whole 12 rounds and always keep your hand up like this? And his right hand, he's just pawing at you. This right hand is nothing. That's a distractor. That's all that right hand is. And then he keeps it out, so it's already out there halfway. So when if he does jab, boom. You see, he doesn't have to bring it from here all the way. He's already there, boom, jab in your face. But it's just to distract you so he can dip into on an angle, come in close, or boom, hit you with that left hand, a lead left. The way you disrupt all that is by shooting that jab. I wouldn't even shoot it at his face. I shoot it at his chest. Chest not moving. That body's not moving. That head with Usyk, shoot it at his chest hard. Maybe right here, top of the chest, throat area. That's where I be throwing it. I be throwing it with as much power and speed I can get on it. So in the snap of it. So when it hits him, man, he's not gonna know what to do. So all this movement he's doing and all this side to side and all that, boom, I'd be shooting that jab straight down. That's what I would do. And I would take a couple steps back, I'd roll out, and I would kill him with the jab. AJ can win this fight with the jab alone. And then if he wants, he can throw the hook off the jab. You see, but that's puts him back in position to where Usyk is extremely intelligent. This is easier said than done. And that's what Usyk can get some shots off. But when you see a person going through and making these changes, you know, it's a good thing, but sometimes it doesn't matter what changes you make, because boxing really is, I think a lot of you would agree, it's really like 90% mental, man. It is. And you can say, nah, man, you know, it's 90% physical. The mental piece is only 10%. If you're not in shape, if you don't, have a six-pack of abs, then more than likely you're not going to do well in fights. Okay, well, tell Andy Ruiz that, okay? Go tell him that. As a matter of fact, it's not boxing, but tell Butterbean that. You know what I mean? Tell these guys who are running around here who aren't in the best of shape and who are clipping people and doing good in combat sports. Tell them that. Those MMA guys that are in there fighting, they're not even kicking, not even the ones who kick, it's the ones who use their hands that are all big and fat and drink beers. You tell them that, okay? It's a mentality, and you have to have that, okay? You could tell Mayorga that. Remember Mayorga? All those cigarettes he smoked and barely did any training. Tell him that. Deontay Wilder doesn't do any running. He does other things for cardio, but there's no running. You tell him that because he believed in himself. All these fighters believed in themselves. It's amazing what you can do when you believe in yourself. And when you don't, I'm telling you, man, you're your own worst enemy. The fight's already lost. And with Joshua, I think he's a person, and in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, that needs someone to laud him, to tell him good things about himself. And Robert Garcia isn't that guy. He's going to tell you things about yourself. May be good, may not be. But he's not going to BS you. Robert Garcia is there to do a job. And Robert Garcia is a winner. He likes to win. And he has his tongue is hanging out of his mouth right now. And he's so excited about the opportunity to train Joshua, to get him in this rematch with Usyk and win so he can have his first heavyweight world champion. But the jab and the hook, to me, is very easy. We know Usyk is a southpaw. Usyk's going to be coming in and out on angles, lateral movement, moving his head. He's always got that left hand cocked, ready to go. But I really think just the jab alone, shoot right there, man, for the chest. I'd be aiming right in here. And I'd be shooting it. That's what I would do. And when Usyk starts to get a little impatient, boom, I'd drop that right hand on him with the quickness. That's all I would do. It wouldn't be too exciting the first 4 rounds because I'd Devin Haney him. That's what I would do. It'd be Devin Haney Kambosos. Simple fight. No need for all that other stuff. All this uppercut, all this other crap. You don't need that, man. Check, hook. Nah, man. Keep it simple. 1, 2. Jab. Right hand. Tie him up. Push him. Muscle him up. About 4 or 5 rounds, when you start getting a little closer, fire off your combinations. He's not going to be expecting it. Then go back to boxing him. And then let go of your combinations, the hard shots, power shots. And I think Anthony Joshua will do well, but I don't know. I think in his mind, when you get beat like that, you start to tell yourself you can't do it. You can't help but be a little hesitant. Anybody out here ever got in a fight when you were younger? Or some of you still, knuckleheads now at your old ass age with gray in your beard, still out there trying to fight and keep the dream alive. But you ever got into a little scuffle and maybe you didn't get maybe you don't feel like you got the best of that person, or the person kind of got the best of you, and then you want to go at it again, but you start to say, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? We used to spar all the time with gloves and boxing gloves and, do stupid shit like a lot of you. Just out there boxing in the yard and doing stuff, which is absolutely dangerous as hell. But, you see where you get in there with somebody and you feel that power, or they got some speed, or, they feel that from you, or you see somebody else, you're not even in there, you see somebody else get snot knocked out of their damn nose, and you're like, nah, that's not going to be me. Those things go on, and you can't leave your mind behind. So I say all that to say this. With Anthony Joshua, when you get beat like that, you can't leave your mind behind. It doesn't matter what Robert Garcia shows him. He's going to always think about what the hell happened in that first fight, especially at the end of the round where he was dead tired and Usyk poured it on thick and almost got the stoppage. But I am really looking forward to the fight. But simple, basic beginning boxing stuff is all AJ needs to win this fight. The simple 1-2, an occasional hook. They come in close. He has a phenomenal uppercut. Let that uppercut go. Follow up with that cleanup hook. Tie him up if you have to. Be big. Power him, bully that man around the ring. And then go back to your stick and make it easy. But we'll see if he has the ability to do it. I don't know. But I am looking for the fight. But then again, Usyk is fighting for something totally different now, man. It's just one of those intriguing matchups. It's a very, very, very interesting fight. But that being said, I'll go ahead and leave it alone as that. But some of you may feel like, nah, it's not that simple. Usyk is a complex fighter. I know that. I'm not downplaying Usyk's skill. Usyk, I get it. We know what he did at cruiserweight. We know he came as a heavyweight. He came out here, man. He had a couple tough fights at heavyweight, but he looked like he put it all together for the AJ fight. And AJ helped him a lot in that fight by not really letting his hands go. And the reason he did is because of the damn speed and accuracy and awkwardness of Usyk. Southpaw angles, high IQ. It's a damn hard fight. Especially when you're fighting his fight trying to outbox him. That just was dumb. But he seemed to have figured it out. But I think if he comes in, man, and he gets it together, he's going to get him out of there. It's like when, what's his name? You remember Sergio Martinez and Paul Williams? In that first fight, Sergio had opportunities to get Paul out of there, but it's like he didn't want to really, take those risks. And a lot of us thought he won the first fight. Second fight, he wasn't going for the BS. He was letting his hands go. Got Paul Williams out of there. And it's kind of the same thing with, I'm not even going to say this one, man. But I think you guys know what I was about to say about the first fight, then the second fight, and then there was a trilogy. But there's so many damn question marks over that second fight and trilogy and what's going on with the guy's name now, who's associated with I'm not even going to get into that. But bottom line is, man, once somebody makes up their mind and is like, I'm going to get him out of there, they can do it. And if AJ can do that, he can get in there because he hurt Usyk. Usyk doesn't like getting hit. But if AJ can get in there and touch him up and he commits, he can get him out of there. I'd rather lose by a knockout than getting outboxed and saying, I should have done more. And I think that's what AJ is living with right now. I should have done more. Well, he'll have his opportunity here in the next couple months. So hopefully for him, he does more, and we get to see a really, really good fight. But that being said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Shout out to all the veterans. And as always, I am in the breeze.